Okay, in this video, I'm gonna go through all the steps to create the first development pod. So it starts from a Docker file. So this is a Docker file. It actually, it's built on top of the Ubuntu image. So this is the latest Ubuntu image. It sets some, time zone and so on, and then install some packages that you're probably going to use. For example, netstat, ping, wget, git, nano, all of these, that curl and so on. Okay, and then we install Python 3.9. Of course, you can install other packages if you want, but here I'm installing the latest one, which is 3.9, installing unicorn, wheel, and so on. Then I create a separate user, so it won't be the same. So this is root, but I don't want to like execute anything as a root. So I create a user called developer for now with the password developer. So this is developer. Here I'm creating a use. I'm making it a sudoers, so you can actually, this user can execute anything that root can as a sudoers. And then, I'm setting the virtual environment as for this Python. So this is the virtual environment, which actually goes to the home of that developer inside this VNV. That's the place for this virtual environment for Python. Then I install Jupyter, some packages, and then execute this package. So this should actually bring also the Jupyter notebook, and also you can, log in via Visual Studio Code for that. So what I do is that I execute this command to build the Docker. Because I did it in the past, it's going to be very quick, because, it's already done, so as you can see, it's done. But you saw that, here. And then after that, I'm going to push this to the Docker Hub. So we can access it. Everybody can access it. So that's that. Then I have a separate, basically, Kubernetes YAML file for deployment of this pod. So if you remember, okay, so this is the Jupyter notebook. Let me just in that. And then I had these, this one, I went over it, for basically testing the local volume and so on. So this is a very simple one using BusyBox. Now, instead of the BusyBox, I'm going to point to this basically Docker image that I created. So I'm going to replace that with this one. Also, I'm going to replace the name of that with the new name. So it create a new, basically, a pod, which is all here. You look at it, this one is changed. That one is also changed. The rest is exactly the same. So these, so these two are exactly, basically the same, except for that. Okay, then after that, also I need to open a service so we can access these Jupyter notebook through web. So I also have another pod, which is a service for Jupyter, which it opens port 888, so we can access the Jupyter one. Okay, so I'm just going to deploy that. So right now in my, so let me actually finish that. Yeah, I only have test local volume, which we already tested that in a previous video. But here I'm going to execute this. Hopefully it works fine. Yeah, this is configured. So I should see actually, yeah, this one came up, and so there should be a service here, which is Jupyter one. So this service actually opens port 888. So if everything works fine, I should be able to actually, click on this. And I should be able to basically see the notebook. It is the first time I'm doing it, so hopefully it will works fine. Okay. Okay, so it actually didn't work, and the reason is if I go back here, you can see that I added this line. That means that I'm overwriting whatever it was in the Docker file. So if I go back to Docker file, um, where was the Docker file? Was actually here. So this was the command that it should supposedly run, but because I added basically this command, it won't run that. And so let me actually first go, go to the pod. Okay, so I am going to here, which is the home directory. So let me first see if the workspace is working. Yeah, the workspace is working. That's basically what I mapped here. I mapped the home workspace inside to that, to the outside. So this is outside. This is my host one. Okay, so now let's see whether I can run basically this command. So I actually copy paste that here so we can later on execute it. Okay, so we want to execute this one, and I want to check whether this is working fine or not. If not, fix that. And once I fixed it, I can either uncomment this or comment both of these commands, so it execute the default one inside that Docker file. Okay, I had some issues. Hopefully I fixed that. So I'm going to cd that, and then I should be able to run this basically. And yeah, so as you can see, the Jupyter Notebook right now is up. This is the token. So we should be able to more or less, click on something like that and see it. But let's check. Let's check whether this will work or not. Okay, it doesn't work, but okay, I'm going to figure out what's going on. But yeah, and the other thing which I'm going to do is make it such that whenever we say like a right click on and say terminal, it goes to actually to workspace rather than going to root. It goes to home workspace. So and I'll show you. Okay, so I actually added this one, working directory, so it should go directly here. I am still trying to debug that what's going on, but I can show you something. So for example, right now, if I just right click on that, go to terminal, first of all, it goes to workspace. So as you can see, we are not on a slash anymore, we are in workspace, and it has, the content of the, then if I run this, just like before, okay, and now, okay, I can actually directly port forward that. So I can port forward 888. It should show up here. You can see that here. I can just say that port forwarded. So it port forward 888 to 888. And after that, I should be able to just, click on this, and this one should work. So let me give it a shot. It's going to go back here. Yeah, see, this is the Jupyter Notebook. It's running, and it's because I port forwarded, and you can see it's get, and it didn't ask me anything. But also, if I only go to 888 without that, okay, yeah, it's already cached that, so it's because of the token. But anyway, we will go over another video to how to not every time use this token and set it, fix one. But okay, so let's see whether I can figure out what's going on, why this service actually somehow doesn't work. I'm sorry, this service. So this service should actually, I change it to 8887, should actually take the target 8887 to the to this one. So that means that even if I put 8887, it should work fine, but it doesn't. So because it says like 887 should point to 8888 for this app. Okay, so finally I was not able to fix it for the pod. However, it works for app, but I will explain it on a different, basically, on a different video. You can see it works here for app. Yeah, and once I figure out what's going on with pods, and I will record it in a separate video and explain it.